So Perry looks for Thompson. It falls instead for Cohen Griffith, taking on Linton. Linton, the more powerful of the two players, standing up to him well, but Griffith does find Searle, and that's offside against Paul Miller, perhaps, maybe Caldale. And just signs in the last 10 minutes or so that the midfield battle is being won by Luton, but this was promising for Cardiff.
Well, that was a good run by Cohen. He's really able to beat a man. You've got to get the ball in from near the byline to give anyone a chance of scoring. As it is, it came out to Damon Searle, and he's floated the ball in behind them, and it goes to nothing. In fact, in the game has been an exciting game. Both sides could have scored, and basically Cardiff were just a little bit unlucky to be a goal down. But in fact, it's always this problem in behind the right back and behind Derek Brazil. About 4 or 5 times they've really got away down there, and out of one of those occasions they've scored.
Well, Cohen Griffith has been flat on his back for some 25 seconds or so now, and he'll need treatment. Well, Luton Town are actually trying to continue the game on the far side, but the referee instructs them to stop immediately because, as you can see, Jimmy Goodfellow is on the field again for a second time. Could be the lower back the problem for Cohen Griffith. Maybe just a knee in the lower back there from Des Linton, the problem for Cohen Griffith. Griffith has looked quite lively on the left-hand side for Cardiff. But as you say, Mike, the root cause of Cardiff's problems down the right-hand side of their defence. Can you see any sort of reshuffle at half-time from Eddie May? I can see from time to time Brazil is calling for Bird to give him more support back there.
Yes, I think that really is the answer. He's had too many players to deal with, and the trouble is he's sucked in because of the way in which they pass the ball around. He's sucked in on a covering job, and when the ball is released, he has difficulty then in coping, and mainly with Kerry Hughes, but with Scott Oakes as well. They both have got down that side and got in behind Derek Brazil, and that's caused really the only problem that Cardiff have had all the time.
Harper finds Linton. This is Oakes, now he's on the right-hand side. This is Priest. Oakes once more. And that should be smothered at his near post by Mark Grew, and is. But Scott Oakes is transferring across the forward line all the time, and Mark Grew is down injured as play continues. As you can see, Mark Grew on the edge of his penalty area as he tried to kick clear has obviously injured a groin muscle. He was doubtful before the game because of that problem. He had to undergo a fitness test, and it looks to me, judging by the expression on his face and the way he's covering his face by his hands, that Mark Grew in that instant might have played his last part in this game.
Yes, he's caught it badly, that's the trouble. And he's hit either into the ground or he's hit across the ball. And that certainly is a big problem now for Eddie May.
Well, as you can imagine, that Phil Kite, the Cardiff City reserve goalkeeper, is warming up, but the half-time whistle has been blown in the meantime, so they will be able to work on Mark Grew during the interval. Scott Oakes there departing, more than satisfied with his first half's work. He scored the goal after 39 minutes. Luton Town playing the more composed football in midfield, holding the advantage. Cardiff City with 45 minutes to try and stay in the FA Cup. They trail Luton Town at half-time by a goal to nil.
Touchdown on anyway, some part of the game. That'll lift the crowd a little bit, and he does make things happen for you, and he's an awful customer. And they might bring him up and play to be up front or something like that.
Let's hope so then that Cardiff can at least get back on level terms. We can rejoin our commentary team for the second half then. Mike Smith, and first of all, Ian Brown.
Yes, 10 Cardiff players emerged from the dressing room area at the end of the half-time interval. The 11th was already on the field warming up. Phil Kite fielding a few shots from Phil Stant, another of the substitutes. Eddie May then looking rueful. I'm sure he has Cardiff City fired up for these next 45 minutes. Their place in the FA Cup very much on the line as they trail First Division Luton by 1-0. And that's not a very good start for Derek Brazil, who had his problems in the first half and perhaps needs to get in one or two clean challenges early in this second period just to rebuild a little bit of confidence. This is Perry, the Cardiff captain, drives it forward towards Carl Dale. Dale, well, he goes down, but I think really he was just off balance. He looks pleadingly towards Mr. Dilks, but nothing given. Alan Harper, Phil Stant, who was injured in the replay victory at Middlesbrough, still has a swelling on his right knee. He replaces Carl Dale, who is being eased gently back into the first team scene here at Ninian Park. Carl Dale has played 54 minutes, but now he gives way to Phil Stant, very much a folk hero at Ninian Park. His goals last season fired Cardiff to the Welsh Cup and promotion double. Phil's ball in, and that's easy for Summer.
I think it's a good decision by Eddie May. Carl Dale's a little bit short of his game, and now when the chips are really down, I think that if they can get the ball into Thompson, and for the little flick-offs, then Stant is the one that maybe, with the experience that he's got, will be able to feed off it.
Well, his first touch was a good one. Thompson tried to thread it forward to Richardson, but now it's Priest carrying it forward for Luton, and he finds Oakes. And that's a goal kick to Cardiff City, so two target men really now for Cardiff. The angular pair of Gary Thompson and Phil Stant up front, and it's players like Cohen Griffith and Tony Bird on the other side who'll have to feed off them.
Across to help Brazil out, because it was his runs early on that caused most of the early problems.
Well, this time they combine further upfield. Gary Thompson down for Stant. Oh, what a fine goal by Phil Stant! An absolute scorcher by the substitutes. That was quite wondrous. Out of nothing almost. A volley from the edge of the penalty area. Well, Cardiff City make a habit of spectacular goals, don't they, in the FA Cup? Great leap there by Thompson, and there was Stant to make it 1-1. That's the equaliser, and we really have a game on our hands now.
That's what we've been talking about all along. Just gets his body in the right position for the knockdown. What a superb volley. Marvellous goal.
Well, that's his 10th of the season, and surely his best. He scored in the second round against Brentford. He scored in both matches in the third round against Middlesbrough. But now he's got them off their feet on the bench as Phil Stant, with a glorious equaliser here in the 5th round against Luton. So, 1-1. And the Cardiff City Cup dream lives on. A 66th-minute equaliser for Phil Stant. Set up by this man wearing 7, Gary Thompson. But here come Luton with Hartson, who's off.